Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Wisdom Wednesday. I haven't got Sherlock Clones with me today, but I've got something a little bit better.
Oof. He's gonna love that.
I've got Kain, possibly, in my opinion, one of the best deaf players about, in my opinion. Now, some people might think, well, who is this guy? This is the guy that tends to make up most of the decks that people take to the tournament. If people do end up taking decks that are similar, they always have the core. There's a lot of core things that crunch in, and it's all down to Kain basically. So, Kain, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Very nice words, Hamish.
That's a bit of an introduction, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, no worries, man. So, two things. We were meant to have a podcast and something with Play Fusion, but unfortunately that's delayed back again until further notice. So until that happens, I can't really give you guys anything, I'm afraid. And we haven't had any real spoilers for Set 4 yet either. I think everyone was expecting to see something more concrete, but we haven't had anything more concrete yet. That's going to come out this Friday, apparently, hopefully. Who knows? But until then, we're just going to be chatting some bullshit, and I want to hear you, and we can hear the Deaf Lord's opinion on what we do know, which is Kain. Now we did go, not Kain. There you go. I'm going to call him Kain now. It's Manfred.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anything else really, and then hopefully we can get some games in. Does that sound alright?
Yeah, sounds alright.
Okay, so you were talking about Manfred. You were saying about we were semi just talking before we were recording about what you think alternate win conditions might look like, and whether it's going to be a balance of him being busted or not. Is that right?
Yes, I did. Yes.
So yeah, if you wanted to carry on from where you were, what you were saying.
Right. So I mean, I want to start off by saying that I will try as hard as I can to break the hell out of Manfred, because he's my favorite Warhammer character of all time, and I've been asking about him since like forever, since this game started.
Yeah.
Looking at him, I mean, we all know very straightforwardly he's severely overcosted for what he does. So it's greatly going to depend upon what does Unleash mean.
What does Unleash mean?
Yeah, exactly. So like some people will say like, well, maybe it gives an alternate win condition, or maybe it gives a buffed up passive. Both of those things are valid, I think. The Unleash thing will be interesting because if it is an alternate win condition, because we did know that Jacob had said that there will be, let's just say that this is plausible. While I think that's really cool, we should be able to immediately see if that's the case right from the reveal. Because if it's a really easy win condition, then based on what we have already, then you'll say, okay, cool, that's doable. We can break him. It could be real. But if it's a really difficult win condition and the support right now isn't really there, like you can't see it, then it's going to be really hard, even with cards that we haven't seen, because it'll be like, so let's say the win condition is something like, I don't know, like, what is it? What's an unplayable card? Rise of the Dead, that's unplayable. So that needs 12 units. Yeah, that needs like 12 units in the yard to even be played. So let's imagine Manfred says, if you have 15 units in your yard, you win the game. Well, that's really hard to do before you get killed in this game at the current speed of it. Yeah. So, like, you could say right there, you'd be like, nah, I don't think so, because the tools aren't there. So then you'd say, well, maybe there's some card that comes out that mills or something else like fuel. Well, that could be true, but even then, you're still looking at an incredibly near to impossible thing, because you also have to quest him just to get there. So when you have to like hurdle through his quest things just to now create what your deck is supposed to do, It's very hard. So, like, and I mean, I could be spitballing. We'll see what happens because there's also these other things that sort of come into it, like Death Act. I think he mentioned was a new mechanic that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so. That's the heroic act that lets you get cards out of the bin.
it's just
Okay, sorry, not get cards out the bin. It's a heroic act can only be triggered from things that are in the bin.
yes, correct. So we'll see what what those things yield. But if you were to say like, well, this alternate win condition, it's right now with the cards we have are like impossible, then there's a very strong possibility it's going to be really hard to break even with a set because that means that your support is just so low that it might not be real anyway. Or it could just be a broke passive, like instead of 1 damage when you remove something, maybe it's 4 damage. I don't know. Even then, that actually sounds really difficult to win with, but we'll see.
So what I've heard from the grapevine, from some of the guys that were at Manchester that did a little bit of poking. Nothing was completely confirmed, but I heard. I'm not naming names. Heard that if there's a mechanic from Pokemon, if you know that mechanic, be very, very, very similar to what Unleashes. So, someone had made an estimated guess of a break card. I don't know what Pokemon does, and nothing was sort of confirmed, but the sort of the face said it all. Actions speak louder than words, sort of thing. So that's apparently what Unleashes a break card from Pokemon. That's the rumor mill.
I don't play Pokemon. I'm not really sure what that is.
So chat, break card from Pokemon. Help us. Chronic saying, do you think the new Unleashed mechanic could hurt more than it helps?
I do not think that. No.
Okay.
And the reason now I don't think that yet, but we don't actually know what it does yet. Is the problem?
But the thing is, it's a break card from Pokemon. So whatever that is. So let's find out. Let's
look it up. Just look it up.
Really, Pokemon TCG pretty much killed them. Pokemon TCG pretty much killed them after 2 years. Breaks are a boosted version of the Pokemon, I think. So break cards, Pokemon. So, Pokemon Break are played sideways over their previous stage, covering the illustration box of the Pokemon, providing with a HP boost and an additional attack or ability, while maintaining the attack abilities, weaknesses, resistance, and retreat cost of the previous stage. It's the plastic of his mic. It's the plastic of your mic.
That's it? How's it sound now? Is it still the same?
Sounds better. There you go.
All right then.
Thank you, Connix. Okay,
thanks, Matt.
So, think changes. So it changes basically. When he unleashes, he evolves. So as well, it's an additional card, not a flip card. So that's been somewhat. Yeah, it sounds good. Just sounds like plastic creaky when you adjusted the mic position.
Okay, so we're good now then.
Yes. So it's not a flip card.
No. Well, it would I would imagine that they would because they don't have HP and stuff like that in this game.
No. So I think that was a direct reference of what a break card is in Pokemon. So basically, it's a card that plays sideways over the previous step. Now, it might not be a card that plays sideways. It might be just another. It might be just another card you play on top. But so basically, it's just a card that you play on top, covering the illustration box of the card, and changing their text. So they would be old art versions of Manfred, probably a new rarity. So I think it's also been sort of nodded, rumor mill saying that it's not going to be a flip card. So, so basically, it sounds like it's another card. It's not a flip card.
I wonder about that. Is that
You,
is that better or worse than just having a flip on the card?
I don't know.
I think it's better for value, like creates more value for the cards, like a
Yeah,
more chase thing. That'd be really good for creating value. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I like that too. But that means that the set size is going to be a bit weird, don't you think?
Um,
Because now there's going to be a lot of cards that aren't new cards; they're just add-ons of another card. You know what
yeah.
I mean? It's like I've got this card, and I just, in order to make I could, like, do you know what I mean? And what happens if you get the break card? I call it all the unleashed card. If the unleashed card will mean that. Do you know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean. Like it's still like it's often discussed that one of the things that would help champions would be bigger sets. And now like if you're having other cards that are just like an upgrade to a card that's already made, then you're actually making a smaller set, right? Because
Yeah,
like you're not increasing the size of the set. It's actually smaller than it was before.
that's it.
Um, I know what you're saying. It makes sense. Um, I suppose that we could really attribute some of the set size things to the fact that they're on a schedule and they have the small team thing going on, and we both know that that there have been occasions where they've had issues with print runs and whatnot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm sure it's just like one of those things that contributes. But if maybe it's possible that it is something just on the other side of it. I'm not sure. I wouldn't. I don't discount the possibility that it's just that it is a flip card, unless they said over there that it's not. I'm not sure.
I don't think they said it definitely. I don't know. It's one of those weird things where it's definitely. We don't really know, really, do we?
No. Hopefully we'll find out on Friday, I think now.
I hope so.
I think Jacob and Jacob and Jade know how badly I want to see what Manfred does. I think they do this to spite me, to keep, what I mean, I think they do it to be. I think they talk about it I think they talk about it over there, and they're like, nah, just let him squirm a little longer. Oh, okay.
I think, yeah, we're waiting for official comms, aren't we, of everything?
If you guys are listening and do that, I still love you. I don't take this to heart.
I do. God damn it! Grab a slug. Cheers for jumping on. When you forget it's Wednesday until you check your missed tweets. So yeah, you're like, what day is it today? And you go on Twitter. Must be Wednesday because Hamish is posting so much Wisdom Wednesday nonsense.
Oh, and that reminds me, if they do have this invitational thing, and we do, and me and whoever manages to win to get a trip down to Cambridge, then remind me, I owe Fallout Blood a handshake and a beer for all the nice things he always says about me. I think his name is Dante. Dante, I owe you one when we go to the UK. Okay,
There you go.
Remind me.
There you go, Dante. If he ever does manage to get his ass down here, he'll give you your hand and you will shake it.
Yeah, a handshake, and I'll buy you a pint at the nearest pub if you're into that. I know Hamish is, so I imagine it'll be a thing.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
You'll catch me there.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
I want to see what this so there's this new High Praise Lord Kain. It's a High Praise Lord Kain. 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 I
think I got what he's getting at.
I won't be invited. I'm not good enough.
No, I don't really think it's an invitation. I think it's like just something. I think we're just something we're gonna do and have a good time with.
Absolutely. Right. So now I'm gonna check out this. I'm gonna check out this deck. That one Manchester. It's
The
apparent.
Grotz
It's
deck.
now. I turned around and said, which I didn't agree. Oh, he's took it down. He's moved it down. He he said it was tier one.
Oh, so I mean, I know the list almost by heart.
Oh, I want
it's
to hear
not,
your opinion.
it's not this. I've played again. Well, I mean, I think so. The thing is that I do like when I was playing it. It definitely requires you to play it a bunch of times to get the hang of how it works.
Right.
It is.
So it's
It is.
it's pretty.
It's
So it's not terrible.
no. It's good. It's a good deck. I mean, I can't say I haven't played it enough to speak to its tier level. It can definitely beat some of the better decks out there. That's true, but there are a lot of small nuances to that deck that you need to learn in order to maximize its damage potential, and it is not very apparent from like the onset.
No.
For example, most people's inclinations are to try to keep the wizard into like are to take the Loon King and put him in like the most optimal spot, which lots of times might be in the corner somewhere. This is like people's like sort of inclination with wizards. It's
Right.
actually very different. You want to have the Loon King in the middle so you can maximize grot damage on Flock of Doom, or beast damage with Flock of Doom a lot, because that's 2 extra damage. Making that thing hit for 7 is really good. So
Right.
there's like sort of these little bits that come along with it. That I think that in the hands of somebody like Strathamon who created it and knows how it plays, he's gonna win with it a lot easier than people who just like pick it up and try to win with it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean.
So,
So I'm really sort of like my head scratching why War Chant isn't in it.
I think it was basically because Call of War he felt was better.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Like so informing me that that Grotz didn't win Manchester. It won Middlesbrough.
Yeah, it won the one
Uh,
before that.
yeah, yeah, it won one for that. Not that one. Don't forget the double damage from when you start from spells that deploys a unit. I
Yeah,
know. It's
yeah, but
basically War Chant.
yeah, they both do that though. War Chant and Call War both do that.
Yeah, but
It's
War
just
Chant
that
does it better,
well, so
depending on
War
what it
Chant.
is.
Well, the thing is that I think this is my opinion. My guess would be is that Call of War is a guaranteed unit and War Chant isn't. And I think he just wanted the guaranteed unit over the like possibility of not hitting a unit when you need to with War Chant, because War Chant's just the top card.
It is, that's true, but I still think War Chant's good because it's a draw, it's a draw regardless. And I
Yeah,
think I don't know. I'm sort of sitting there going I would swap Flock of Doom for I would swap Flock of Doom for War Champ just to keep the consistency going.
yeah, but he also uses Flock of Doom to hit the damage corner on the Loon King.
That's
It's a
true.
quest
But
him. It's actually
then
very questable. That guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I've quested him before when I tested it. Yeah.
okay. So it has to be. But why don't you just have putrid puke? I think that's a really good one.
Well, he does play that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he does play that too. It's like 8 spells in that deck.
yeah. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, because of all the spells that you play on him are card advantage. Well, not card advantage, but card replacement, almost like a cantripping, because
Yeah.
it's just you replace the spell that you get, but you're going for quality because you're getting the best of the 2 cards up top.
Got ya. Got ya. Shouldn't be. It's 3 Call of War, 3 Flock of Doom, 3 Brute Smashers, and 3 Moon Mad Stabbers. Moon Mad Stabbers.
That's a good card as long as they don't have Blood Hunt. That's a good card.
Why is Moon Mad Stabbers a good card?
Because it's when it stacks on 2, then it covers 3 lanes and says you can't play abilities there. So if you can pull off a double stack Moon Mad Stabs on a Scarbrand lane, then you're good, aren't you?
Yeah, that's true.
But if they have
It's
blood,
just
but it
the
has an X
X.
corner. Yeah, it has an X corner. So if they blood hunt your ass, then it's kind of going downhill.
Yeah. It's just one of the. I think it's just how my head works in this. Only one
You,
rot slasher.
yes, for stacking and for immediate damage. I suspect it's for the. My suspicions would be is that it's that one that you need for immediate damage and stacking. You can push out with Call of War when you want to.
Okay. I mean, I'm not. I mean, it's his deck. He knows exactly what needs to go in. Whirling Death. Has he got Whirling Death? He's got. Oh, he's got two. He's
Yes,
got two
it's
Whirling
got
Death.
two Whirling Death. It's got 2 Trampling Grunta as well.
Trampling. Trampling Grunter.
3 Kersplat for quick questing the glare faces.
What's the Trampling Grunter? Okay. The Dormant. And that's what, so he's got beast wise, he's got Pouncing Wolf Rider and Trampling Grunter.
Yes.
And that's what makes the Flock of Doom work.
Yeah. It's just to boost the Flock of Doom damage, those guys, the beasts or whatever. I think Trampling Grunt is a good utility card on its own for damage. You can't push it on like a Savage Boar Boss to get its maximum efficiency like now, but it's still like a decent card because it dormants everything for some reason. I don't know why Trampling Grunt is going to dormant a spell, but it does. And
I know.
and I think the Pouncing Wolf Rider is essentially like your draw spell because its extra action turns into a draw. Like I think you're riding on basically keeping up your hand with Pouncing Wolf Rider and Loon King draws on spells.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of 1 Full of War and 1 War Chant. So, and I'm going to put in 2 Putrid Pukes.
Yeah.
And 2 Flock of Dooms.
Oh, you want to test out the War Chant?
I think War Chant's ace. I honestly do think War Chant's ace because
I think it's a good card too.
Yeah. I mean I thought Gaze of Mork would be pretty good as well because Gaze of Mork could it's a damage and it can also be part of Scrag removal.
Yeah, but I think that's it's a little like sort of. I know what you're saying. It'll hit both, but I don't think you'll ever manage to. I don't think anybody's ever going to walk into that one. I actually really like this card, by the way. The one that you're looking at right now. I think that's a really good card.
What, Face of the Bad Moon? Yeah, it's basically a beatback and a damage.
Yeah, if it doesn't
beatback or a damage.
Yeah, you can choose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I really like that card.
So do I.
I think a card's very underrated, personally. I would probably play that over Putrid Puke.
Yeah,
but I would at least test it.
I haven't got enough. Right, okay, right. So I think I've got enough. So let's try that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit there and open up a load of loot boxes because I'm so poor. Right, I'm bored of this. Okay. So,
you ever see that show Friends?
Friends.
Yeah, it's an American show about a bunch of friends.
Yeah, I know Friends.
Yeah, so you see that. So you remember there was that time when Ross was going to get married in England, right. and then they find out that Rachel goes there and she wants to like cause a fuss or whatever. So Phoebe calls up and this woman answers, and she's talking to her and she's like, "I'm bored of you now. I'm going to cut you off." And then then she just does. That when you said I'm bored of this now, that's what that reminded me of.
Yeah, all right. I'm bored of this now. I'm going to cut you off. Boop.
Yeah.
Right. Should we give this a razz?
Yeah, can do.
Yeah, let's give this a raise.
All right.
Anyway, thanks for jumping on, Mike. How are you?
Do you want me to play something serious? Or no?
Play your most serious deck because this is tier flipping 1.
I'll play this thing because I usually win with this.
I'm going to play something I've never played before and prove nothing.
I mean, you might beat me. Like it is a damage race for sure.
And it's going to be because of that one change I put in.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, maybe I could disrupt the field with this new tool spell. Right. Okay. Hey, honey. Probably got caught on streams snooping.
Is it Faye the Destroyer?
Faye the Destroyer, yes.
I've heard her referred to that as before.
Faye the Destroyer. My
Yeah.
friend Mikey has certainly rubbed off the name as Faye the Destroyer. You're known as the Destroyer. The Destroyer of streams.
And then if she goes and kicks his ass the next time she sees him, he'd be like, way to prove him wrong, honey. Way to prove him wrong.
She kicks my ass every day.
Really?
Yeah. She's a bully.
Oh.
She's a bully.
Yeah.
No, she's not. Oh,
Not
man,
all the time.
we're playing Mordant. No. She's lovely.
Of course. Of course.
I'm out
For
of
their
screen.
standing,
I'm out of screen, honey.
with her standing next to you, that's what I would say too.
Gotcha. Yeah, good buddy. I think it's tier 1 destruction. I think it's tier 1 destruction deck. Now that's a problem. I'll be gonna have a couple of games and then see where we go from there. Right.
Yeah.
I think the comment of it being a tier 1 destruction deck is probably I find that more fair. I think that's if we're gonna base it just on the destructioniness, then I would agree with that.
What was that word you just said? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Repeat it again.
The destructioniness.
Okay. That's what I thought I heard. I wanted to be sure.
Yeah, you heard it right.
Seemingly.
Seemingly.
Oh my.
God.
That is so rude of you. I'm really often amazed at the difference in how nice everything looks on my computer compared to my phone when I play this game.
Yeah, the computer really does do a good amount of justice, doesn't it?
Yes. Very much so, I think.
God damn it! I seem to be doing more, and yet you've still got more health.
Yeah. We'll see.
Come on, rotate it forwards.
I could do that.
It really doesn't make any odds, does it? No, you want to delay it, don't you?
I mean, I'm not really all about you.
Why
You
not?
know.
Why not?
I don't know. You're definitely taking your time on.
What am I taking my time on?
Uh,
I'm so
sort
getting
of.
royal hunted this game. Oh yeah, Kane's guaranteed for a royal hunt in this. Stupid. It's in the way of how many cards you've got in your hand. This stupid little thing that comes up in front of my screen tells me how many cards you're gonna. Like it's right in the middle of the screen. This stupid little Microsoft with the. Oh, go away, go away.
You have like a billion cards in your hand. Like
Yeah, no, you stopped me playing all of them.
all of them is a strong word. There's definitely a glare face in the corner that could use some love.
Yeah, but you're just gonna dormant him.
That's true. But I will not stop you from getting that unit quest symbol done, sir.
And then even if I remove it, I'm using my second removal, which is gonna make Scragrot's questing a lot harder. Do that. I'm waiting to puke.
It's
What?
not a bad play at all.
Why is it quested?
Because you removed it.
Yeah, but you stopped me from removing.
No, it doesn't see it until after it's gone, so it's fine. It's what it's supposed to be.
Oh, well, I did a good play then. I thought I thought you were. For some reason, I thought it wouldn't do the removal.
No, it does it. It does it with removal. You did it. You did a good one. That was positive in your favor. We have some decisions to make, don't we? Let's see. So let's go with that. See where she goes.
Of course.
Right.
Fucking course.
And now I have to do this now, which is kind of shitty, but quite true.
I've lost this. Three. To complete this quest.
You have the win?
I don't have a win, do I?
I don't know. You could.
Oh.
That was the one I didn't want you to get. Yeah, you have the win.
I have the win now.
On Smash, yeah. You do have the win. Yeah, on Smash and back.
Wow!
That was the only one that could do it.
Tier 1, baby!
I definitely had you next turn, too.
I quite like... Well, what were you going to do?
So my 3 cards in hand were Feasting Vargeist, Vigor Necris, and a Tireless Crypt Flayer. So the obvious thing was you're going to take 2 damage from the Crypt Flayer that's already on the board, and then I'm just going to Vigor Necris and the Thorns to do 11 flat.
You could have spun that quicker. Look, right. So Mike is number 1 in the UK. So he knows best. I could have spun that quicker.
You could have done.
I could have done. That was my first time, man. Chill your beans. Did they change Smash and Bash? I don't think it triggered the card that played it. The thing is, what the reason it wouldn't have done it if the quest corner was a unit, but because the quest corner was the damage, the unit was down and delivered the damage.
Correct. He's very correct. I was actually really hoping it. That I was saying to myself when he played it, as long as this isn't Smash and Bash, I should win. And then it was Smash and Bash. I was like, oh well, now I've lost.
Well, the thing is, I think it's justice, right? Because you went, oh, here's a Royal Hunt. I was like, of course he's got Royal Hunt. Everyone has Royal Hunt. I quite like this one. No good enough. Number 4. No, it's not. I'm not good enough. The organized play thing is definitely not geared towards people going to more events.
Let's see. Should I play? This is supposed to beat Chaos 9 out of 10 times. Should I play Chaos?
Do it.
I wish you could see my decks. You'll see like my Thirster deck is labeled Brainless Trash, and my Scarbrand deck is labeled
Well, no,
skillless garbage.
just you don't have to play Chaos. You can play whatever you want. I just want to keep. I like this deck. I like
All right,
this.
I'll play that.
This is a cool deck.
It is a cool deck. I agree.
I think I like because I've been grooving around with Scraggrot a bit as well, and obviously I had the same champion lineup, so the mindset was there. My units were totally wrong, but I think the units were totally wrong, and some of the spells were wrong as well. But I think the champion lineups were and the blessings were wrong, so it's totally not the same deck.
It's like it's definitely not. You know what? No, there's like a 15 card difference. It is very different, isn't it?
Yeah. The more I keep thinking about it, the more I'm like, yeah, no, should be.
This is the way I play Scarbrand, though. This is the way me and Jeff used to play Scarbrand all the time. This is old, this deck. Well, actually, I think I updated this after the point cost change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. We'll see if it holds up. I don't feel like I much care where this guy goes, do I?
I think the optimal play. I take it you got two of them.
No, I don't play him that way.
Okay. Well, then I probably would have put him on the other side to try and get Scraggrot, because the Riptooth will want to chase him, just so that Scraggrot would be on the other side, so that War Chanter or whatever couldn't get the most out of the double damage stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's a good point. Right.
Right.
Well, this helps a lot, doesn't it?
I'll do something. Ooh.
I like this card, this Chaos spell, quite a bit. I feel like it doesn't get as much attention as it deserves.
I am not a huge fan of it.
I think this card is. I mean, I think on its worst day, it's what, 4 life maybe on its worst day, right? Something like that.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I probably haven't given it enough attention. What have you got? Oh, it's a spell. It's a spell.
See, I'm not even upset about that. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's 3 life.
Sorry. Let's have a look at the top card. That's the top card.
That's the top card. I love how, I mean, I see the Kersplat making those, like, quick westing those things really quickly. It's interesting. And the recycling is good.
It's got, the draw mechanic in this is really good. Oh, that is not what I wanted.
Alright, let's go. Big money.
Oh,
it's probably
draw 2.
It's an ability. Yeah, there we go. And it's a good ability too.
Now the question is, what do I want?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. My hand is broken as shit. It really is.
Am I gonna go for Zarbag's Gets to Dormant you?
can.
Or am I going to go for brute smashes for 4 damage?
Let me tell you, you got some great questions.
Let's do Zarbag.
Let's do Zarbag. That's some great art too. He's a good card.
Well in death. Let's deadly chop.
Give me the chop, as it were. The claw. I'm being clawed.
I mean, that's not. To be fair, that's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
To be fair, I managed to conquest him in 2 turns.
Yes.
That's pretty good going.
The questing is high. I am inclined to agree with this.
I am dead as shit. No. Damn it. I am dead as a doorknob. Got 1 demonic fury to pull off 8 damage next turn.
So I'm going to happily anticipate this for you.
Okay. 1.
Yeah, I know. I'm curious if it's going to be UBL. That's all. I feel like it might be.
God damn it. Look at that.
Ready? We'll see what it is here. Oh no.
Oh.
Definitely isn't UBL.
Go on, get 6 health.
I could have done that.
And you're the 1 still.
Yeah, I know. I could have done that. Yeah, it's quite true.
So, you tell what, you make a very good Chaos player. These scrap decks make me sad after Mike had me with it yesterday. Can't beat him. Join him. I probably was going to use the Rejoice and Slaughter over the spell that looks at the top card.
Oh, the Sorceress Insight? That's a 2 of. It's 3 flesh and 2 of those things.
I was going to do 3 flesh and 2 Rejoice and Slaughter.
So it's like oftentimes when I look at these kinds of things and I evaluate like when I'm deck building, because I built this deck, the Scarbrand deck. Yeah. I built this about 2 weeks ago in about 15 minutes. And the whole concept is like, you know, when you look at spells or you would look at draw, then obviously you have to look at what's available to you, but you also want to look at things like, what does this deck really want? Now, does this deck just want raw card advantage, or does this deck want card quality? So like, you know, so if we're going to take 2 comparable examples, like say 2 death decks, which I know very well. So you have like, say, Mordants and you have Archon, right? So Flesh to Stone is really good in Mordants, because Mordants doesn't really care what it draws, it just wants to draw. Because you're going to draw something useful anyway, whether it be an ability or a unit. But like Archon is different. Archon doesn't actually want raw card advantage, which is the reason why you see a lot of Archon players at the start, when they were trying to come up with like, what spell should I play, a bunch of them played Flesh, and then they actually dropped it, because there's a bunch of cards in Archon you don't want to draw. So Archon actually wants card quality, not raw card advantage. So a card like Scrying Pool is actually really good on Archon, because you don't actually care if you get the 3 cards out of it. What you care about is whether it is early. You care about whether or not you see Fuel the Gravetide. So if you play Scrying Pool on Archon, you get rid of the spell corner, and then you see a Fuel, flip it to the top and draw it, you're cool. And then he's like, okay, now if the guy gets rid of your Scrying Pool, then now your Archon is free to do whatever you want. His spell corner is on, you can quest him, and you have the fuel that you want to go from 0 to 80, because that's what happens with Archon. Once you get a fuel off, it goes from 0 to 80 in a second, right? Yeah. So now you're good. So it's like there's 2 sort of different ideologies that come to these kinds of decks. So like Scarbrand's the kind of deck that just wants raw card advantage. He doesn't care about card quality because the great thing about Chaos is all their cards are broke. So you don't really need to worry about card quality. So that's why Flesh the Stone is really good, and Sorcerer's Insight is also really good because the raw card is good, or the damage is good, and even the life is actually good in Chaos Mirrors because lest you forget how often you play Chaos in the app. So
yes,
yeah, I think that this card and I think two of these with 3 flesh is the optimal spell lineup if I was going to play it in a Scarbrand deck.
that's fair.
Personally,
Yeah, no, I think that's a very good, some really good insight actually. I I would the only reason I would pick Rejoice and Slaughter, is because I take it you'll run it. Are you running some of the are you running Nurgle's Rot or Putrid Offering?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Let me go to the deck. Skillless garbage. Let's take a look. So, right. So my list is 12 units. Three of the 4 best units that they have: 3 flesh, 2 sorceress insight, 3 blood hunt, 3 demonic, 3 furious, 2 opportunity strike, 2 reckless abandon. That's it.
2 opportunity strike. You see, I would swap the 2 opportunity strikes for Nurgle's Rot.
Could.
And then I would swap out the that Sorcerer's Insight for Joyce and Slaughter.
Could. I don't like Rejoice and Slaughter in Scarbrand per se,
Okay.
because I think that so first of all, Nurgle's Rot is not boosted by Scarbrand. One of the reasons why I don't like it, but is boosted by Bloodthirster, is busted in Bloodthirster.
But
that card.
it could be boosted by Putrid Offering.
Yes, that's okay. But I think that raw damage is more what Scarbrand wants than life gain. So I would go to 3 Reckless Abandon before I went to, you know what I mean? Like I'm only running 2 right now. And I don't like, so like Sorcerer's Insight it's not dependent on anything else. That's the other thing I like about it. So you can just play it turn 1 and play nothing else if you wanted to.
True.
Rejoice and Slaughter requires setup and requires the right cards in your hand to actually make it work. So sometimes you might even stall a turn or 2. And when you're playing against other Chaos decks and other decks like the Grots and things like that push out damage really fast, you may not be able to wait that turn.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking about this. I had Changeling, which I whipped up this morning, and then the next thing I was going to do was do Scarbrand with pretty much your champion lineup. I was rolling around with that idea, but since you've sort of demoed it to everyone, it was going to be the ones I was potentially going to take over to Milton Keynes. But since you've rolled it to the world already, and it was pretty, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty like you showed it, it's pretty convincingly quite good. Right, thank you so much, Kain, for jumping on. Thank you everybody for jumping on as well. And we'll catch you next time for Wisdom Wednesday.
See you later, everybody. See you later. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.